An error occurred. What?
Oh,
An error. An error occurred. Why?
ruh Raggy. Ruh Raggy.
It's just saying an error.
Oh.
Let me try refresh.
Oh, it's actually is live on my screen.
It actually is live on my screen.
I don't know what the issue is, but I believe. Are we gonna start this over? Yeah. Okay. Because is it not? What seems to be the issue? Is it say live for you, Rossi?
No.
Oh, then now
yes,
it finally
yes.
does.
Now we are live. Yes.
Well, welcome in. I don't know what just happened with that. That is the weirdest thing in the world. But I'm pretty sure Don will be joining us here again. But this is a very special episode here in the multiverse of geekdom. I am joined by Rossi. Rossi Talks, everything movies and games in between.
Yeah.
We are going to be discussing some very heated rat beef that has been going on within the industry that a lot of people have been keeping a very close eye on. This has to do with Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole, and there's been a few other rappers sprinkled into the mix as we've gone through things. But Rossi, initial thoughts, I guess, on the whole thing?
At first, I remember when this started, and I'll have to go to the Chris Brown Quavo situation, right? So that's going on. Dope diss tracks, love it. And then out of the blue, I'm hearing about this Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I remember back in the day, they were together, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think I checked it out when Not Like Us came out. And then I'm hearing that there's like multiple diss tracks. So I did what I think a lot of other people did, run to YouTube and try to find them in order. Great. This is great for the culture, great for hip hop. If you love the music, this is great. I am a fan of Drake. I think he's a hot artist, but like we were talking backstage, kind of takes away if you're not writing your stuff.
Yes.
Put that to the side, though. Lamar just killed him on this.
Yes.
He really did.
So just introducing everything and what we're talking about tonight. So Don, what are your initial thoughts when I first brought this to you about the whole rat beef and drama going on between these two? Your initial thoughts to the whole
we listened to all the songs, and I mean, overall, it's undeniable Kendrick Lamar is a way better lyricist than Drake is. Drake is more of a poppy rapper anyway, but the fact that he doesn't write his own stuff, I don't know. I just never really liked that. So I never got into Drake like that. I mean, I've heard a couple songs from him that, are okay. But I never thought he was that special of a rapper, at least. I mean, more of a pop artist, a pop rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Kendrick Lamar destroyed him lyrically. I mean, if we're talking about just rap beef in general, it's not even close. Yeah, he would have 3K. He would have 3-round him so fast. He would have 3-round him so fast.
So not when I first because all of this started back in 2013. Actually, technically 2011.
Right.
We'll go back to the very, very beginning of 2011. But when this all started to resurface again, I heard Euphoria first. And Euphoria, I was just like, oh my God, this is just I think Euphoria to me is probably one of the most beautifully written songs that he's done throughout the whole thing.
Right.
Lyrically, musically, the jabs that are in there are so precise, and if you don't know I guess some of the inner workings of Drake's career and the things he's been a part of, because he's had things to do or allegations with Euphoria and all that stuff and the initial naming of the song.
Right.
So I very much on board, and I've been absolutely not astonished, but astounded by how well Kendrick Lamar has come up to the plate.
Right.
And I have to say, I'm a bit disappointed because I'm a huge J. Cole fan.
Yes,
J. Cole
yeah.
is, I have been a J. Cole fan, and I still am, not that I'm not.
Absolutely.
But J. Cole has been my guy from day one. I thought he is probably one of the best lyricists still to this day. And even his one song in this, it does show it. But yeah, like I said.
Yeah, I like how he stepped to the side and was like, you know what? Let me just get out of this, and not go any further.
Which is so on
with it.
brand.
Let me just do that. And I didn't even know, guys, that the whole Euphoria, realized that Drake is he a producer or something on the show Euphoria? And that's why when I found that out, now it changes everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, what are you serious? Like, this is what this I was couldn't believe it. So it's like point for Kendrick on that one, but I didn't know. I did not know.
Absolutely amazing. So let's bring this back to the very, very beginning. Kendrick Lamar is featuring on Drake's interlude to Take Care. Buried Alive interlude. And I mean, to me, this one is just, it hints, I wouldn't say it hints at tensions. I think this more hints, and I don't know if anyone else felt this way, it hints more towards Kendrick's coming to realize he has a somewhat respect for Drake.
Right.
And he kind of is just like, it felt almost like I used to really hate you because you were getting a lot of success, but it's just like, this is only a means to drive. This is a means to make me better and stuff like that. And that's kind of how he lyrically did that very well, I feel like, in that song.
Mm-hmm.
How about anyone else on that one?
Looking at it right now, and I think I agree with what you said, how it originally got started. Their Kendrick Lamar's like of Drake and respect of Drake. Where do we know where it went left at?
Huh?
Do we know why it went left with them? Like,
so this one is just this is how it all kind of started. And it was just more of like that. In 2013, that's the next jump. 2013, okay. Drake is featured, or not Drake, sorry, Kendrick Lamar is featured on Big Sean's Control. And in this verse, he more, this is him again, and I think this is him just calling out everyone. He calls out Andre 3000, Eminem, all of them. Like, just Jigga, Nas, all of them. Every single one of them. He's calling them all out. And he's doing it in what it sounds like the fun of the game. Like, he's just basically saying, hey, I feel like I'm number one. If you got a problem, come to me and tell me. He calls out Big Sean in his own song. And I mean, to me, I think you do that only if you're doing it for sport. You know what I mean? Like, he's not doing it to be malicious in this song. He is not doing it to be vindictive. This is all about the love of the industry, the love of the rap game.
And you do that. I mean, from dawn in our day, that's what you do. I mean, it's normal. You hit everybody up on wax. It's, you know what I mean? That's
yeah. You couldn't take it seriously back then because people were getting lyrically destroyed. Yeah, that wasn't even. Yeah,
everybody.
There was no holding back then.
No, I mean, I think E40 when he first came out, he was going at I think it was a basketball player at the time, a really big NBA player at the time. I mean, anyone could get it at that time, and you just talk your talk on your stuff and move on. And the fans, we love it because it's like watching an MMA fight, or a boxing match for us, on wax, and it's exciting, and you pick your sides, and you could like both sides, but whoever killed that person on wax, it is what it is. And it was great for hip hop, that's why this is so good for hip hop, because we haven't had this in a long time, you know, and it's fun. And Kendrick Lamar, yeah, like you said, calling out everybody, but it's a rap. That's what you do,
Yeah,
you
this
know.
feels a lot,
I think
this feels a lot more like rapidy rap, like just like having fun with words and being able to
Yes.
say things with words. And like you said, it's not really malicious in intent.
No.
Because look, I mean, we watched Eminem do this for years, and he would still try to explain to people, like, "Look, I'm just saying your name because it rhymes. Like, if it rhymes and I can make it funny,
Right.
I'm gonna do it." And like that seems more like the feeling, like you said, Jason, of this
Yeah.
song more than anything.
pull this up real quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, this one right here, it just, this whole line right here just embodies it. He's just basically saying, I'm usually homeboys with all of you, but this is hip hop, and we need to know this is time to go at it. He's calling out J. Cole, Big KRT, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, ASAP Rocky, like every single
Everybody.
one. Big Sean and Jay Electronica is the one that comes on the verse next. So he has to follow this after being dissed. But again, I don't think, and he's like, I got love for all of you, but I'm trying to murder you. That's it.
Right, exactly.
This is the game.
That's
This is what we're about.
Yes.
And I think it was beautifully done. I think this was a great thing for the industry.
Right.
And I think my biggest problem with it was nothing came of it. No one fired back.
No.
Well, here's the thing too, is like Rossi was saying about hip hop, like when we were growing up, hip hop is 99% bravado, and I'm the best. Like that's what it always was. So when somebody said you're shit and I'm the best, it wasn't a personal shot. It was a this is just what hip hop is type.
You're
thing.
supposed to feel that way.
Yes,
you're
like,
supposed to be
like
the
I'm
best.
number 5 in the world. Like no, you're supposed to be like I'm number 1, and none of you can fuck with me. But yeah, we can still be friends. At the end of the day, we can still be friends and do songs together. But I can't say that you're better than me. Like that's ridiculous. Like nobody will ever say that in hip hop. I don't care who they are. Like
that's
hilarious. That's great.
Yeah.
This goes unanswered, and then you jump. It's not even a far jump. In 2013, there's a BET Awards cipher, and Kendrick Lamar is featured dissing Drake in the cipher. Let me see. I'm trying to see exactly which thing it is.
That's the thing. I've heard all these songs now a couple times, but I haven't learned them yet, or enough to
I
memorize.
Here I have like.
It's just so funny because the BET. I'm going to share this screen real quick because it's just so funny. Because where is it? Yeah, right here. So I'm just gonna. This is like everyone else's verse is so tiny, right? He's right there. That's Schoolboy Q. Then you got J Rock. He's got his. Not bad. All right. Absol. Pretty regular. Isaiah. All right. And then we come to Kendrick.
Oh
yeah.
I was like, they let this man just go
on. And that's what I loved about the BET ciphers. Like, you have to be a lyricist when you do that. I don't want it. Nobody's writing nobody's stuff. It's just right there. And that's what I loved about the cipher, because you have the best, even unknowns that you didn't know, that come in there and just kill it. So for him to have a damn monologue killed it. It's a monologue.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he just is like ridiculously. I'm a match that masturbated on the whole favor of MC until the industry had wanted me to assassinate it. You're either a corny or an opportunist. Like he just literally just eats apart a track without like just off the top of his head. Right. And I think those ciphers used to be so freaking great at finding so many new talent.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
Eminem
product.
I would just
Snow the Product.
The Slaughterhouse one is so nasty.
I remember watching Snow the Product on one of the BET ciphers, and I think it was the very first time I had ever really heard of her. And oh my God, I was just like, whoo!
Right? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody. I used to wait for that. I mean, I would wait the whole show just to see the cipher, the real.
I discovered Crooked Eye through that cipher, the Slaughterhouse one. Holy crap. Crooked Eye is nasty. That dude is a real lyricist. That dude is a real lyricist, man.
Trying to see. I think I can't fucking find.
Could you
it.
imagine, Don, if Tupac were still here doing those BET ciphers?
No.
Could you imagine
Hey.
that? Like that would be just.
If we could have got like Big L, Big Pun,
Oh
Biggie,
yes,
Pac,
yes.
and like I don't even know who else. Oh my god!
I'm
there's
happy
so
you brought
many.
up Big L. Absolutely,
Oh,
a lot
Big
of
L is
people.
one
He
of
gets
my
missed.
favorites of all
He gets
time.
missed in that. You know,
Yeah,
the
one
of your
favorite
top.
Casualties of a Dice Game is one of my favorite songs.
Shit, yeah.
Good song.
But,
Big
okay.
L was pretty one of a kind.
Absolutely.
So there goes. That was back in 2013. So we had 2011. And
Okay.
Kendrick does Control in 2013. Then we had
Right.
the BET Cypher same year in 2013.
Okay.
Again, just
But
calling
again,
shots
nothing's
out.
personal. Nothing's like going crazy yet.
Nope.
No.
Then fast forward 10 years, because for some reason it took Drake and J. Cole working together, and 10 years later to come out with First Person Shooter.
Okay.
Oh shit! Right.
And now First Person Shooter is what do you call? Basically, just they're hyping each other up, calling out Kendrick, calling him K Dot. Talking about who's the GOAT. It's either me or J. Cole. You're not even in the picture anymore. It's just us. And I don't understand why they awoken a beast. You let him sleep for 10 years. That's the biggest thing that I'm still so like, what took you 10 years to respond?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
not even that, but I have a little bit of an issue with these younger rappers saying they're the GOAT already. When
I was just gonna say that
we have so many people that are still around, and it's like not even like Eminem. I'm talking about like Jay-Z still around. I mean, there's so many people that are still around that are literal GOATs. Nas, like, and we're talking about
thank you.
J. Cole.
I would never put
no
Drake
disrespect
in the.
to them. They're good. I'm not saying they're
They're
bad,
great,
but like they're not in that conversation.
I would
they're
never
just not
put
in that conversation yet.
Drake in a GOAT as a GOAT. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would never think of him like you
No.
said. Drake. Listen, Drake made great club music. You know, poppy, like hip hop
Yes.
music. I mean, he and what's her name, the girl that came out with Moment of Life. Nicki Minaj. That's the type of stuff that Drake was doing. And and he's they gave him that little Wayne thing so that they all kind of sound the same. But Drake made good pop music. I would never think of him as, Drake is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. No.
Yeah. No, not even close.
And he's been around for some years, but you wouldn't put him on your top 5.
Yeah, like I can't literally sit here and say that any of them are better than Andre 3000. Like I can't honestly say that.
Absolutely not.
Like
I'm sorry.
Honestly say that.
Absolutely
Andre 3000 is a lyrical monster.
Yes.
Like, that dude's so nasty with lyrics. And I'm not talking about his poppy song because he had a few poppy songs.
Oh, of course. I'm talking about the first album.
Like that first and second Outkast album, like Atlians and stuff. Oh no, he was spitting. Like that dude was seriously going nuts.
Even Southern Playlistic when that came out, and we're introduced to Andre and Big Boy, and I remember hearing that whole album. Even their interludes were dope. You know what I mean? Like there was so much on that. So no, that. Yeah, I wouldn't compare them.
I can't see any of them better than Jadakiss or Styles P. There's no way.
Gosh, we always forget about Jadakiss. Jadakiss is
he's easily a GOAT.
Lyricist.
Easily a GOAT. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just always funny to me when this younger generation of rappers start saying that. Like again, there's no problem with being like I'm the greatest rapper, I'm the best rapper. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. But to say you're the GOAT, like literal the GOAT, no, that's when you're stepping over a line, I think, in hip hop.
Okay, there we go.
Well, you can be like, I'm the greatest rapper right now all day long. I don't care.
Right. Right.
This is to show you what kind of a lyricist Drake is. So you got J. Cole, solid verse right here. Doesn't.
Right.
You get to Drake. All right, it's a chorus. He's repeating himself.
Yeah, it's a chorus. Yeah.
Okay. Then you get to here. Says I'm the GOAT.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Do you know how to rhyme? All right, cool. Here we go, J. Cole. Again, looks like real solid
Right.
verses. No repeating himself, calling him out. Aubrey, who's the best? You know, all that. Then this one is actually, I love this. I will say this is probably the best thing to come out of this is when they recreated the Spider-Man meme, where it was just
that's funny. Well, yeah, that's funny.
That I will say is probably the best thing to come out of that.
That's fine.
And you know, like, so really great lyrics right here. I will say J. Cole is always, like I said, one of my favorite lyricists. Then you get into Drake again.
Sorry, look at this.
All right, first part of Drake's. I'm about to click on this. I'm about to click on. I'm about to click on. I'm about to click on. Okay.
And it goes on.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. And then he has a few bars. And then it's out. But that's it. You had enough for what? A solid few lines, but then everything else is repeat, 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 repeat.
Right.
So that just is to show you, even in his first initial shots at Kendrick, this is what he comes with.
Right.
Let's see, and that right there, I think that's the issue. Is if it's a rap beef, again, whether it's personal or not, you have to come with your 100%. You can't come in with these little like tap verses and be like this is a battle. Like a battle is gloves are off. It is what it is. I'm saying what I feel. So,
I that's why I feel like his disses were more like a club track. You know what I mean? Even when he's, you know, in this song, what he and J. Cole, even what he's saying, you know, click, 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 and all that stuff. It's like he's making an album, just a regular. This is not a beef album. That's why there's no comparison. There's no competition here because he's going back to what he knows. You know, like as if he's singing with Rick Ross or something. You know what I mean? That's how that comes off. Just kind of like with the Quavo. Quavo did great, but he made a club banger. He didn't make a diss back to Chris Brown. He made a club banger. And it was a good club banger. And the same with Drake. But this is not something like Don said, you come to and you're trying to sneak diss someone or just diss them. And then you have Kendrick not coming back. But wow, when he does, he's years look up shit about you, find out shit about you, pulling up the Degrassi stuff. Like now finding out you were involved with Euphoria. Like this man came to battle.
Oh yeah,
Drake made a hot right there, right? That's the difference right there. Is real MCs and real battle rappers know how to prepare for somebody and do the research. Yeah,
you research that person. I mean, John, we were talking about loving the rap battles today. That, you know, that one channel where they go back and forth. They didn't just show up with that. They find out about your opponent. It's like if you're getting ready to fight them, you want to know what their arm length is. You want to know all that. So with a battle, like
70% of it is them being like, in this some personal that I have no idea what the hell they're talking about, and they're just like going in on it. I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Didn't even know
personal behind the scenes shit that they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's definitely that way. Not to mention, you put a chorus in a battle rap in the 90s, you were automatically, like, okay, well, this isn't a battle song, so we're done.
Yes.
Move on. Like, you can't put a chorus in a battle rap. Like, you just go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just think it's funny.
No, 100%. It's just so like I just can't get over like where we are right now. We're discussing. It's just like 10 years it took them to come up with this, and that's what you do like that.
Right.
That's how you go after him with trying to be a club track.
Exactly.
Not to mention, it also looks weak when your first diss at somebody is with somebody else, has a feature on it. Because it looks like you need like people to back you up instead of just being like, no, I don't like you as a person, or I don't like you as a rapper, like whatever it is. Like if you need people on your track to diss somebody, it just seems weak.
Yeah.
And like, look, if like other beefs happen throughout the beef and people join in, that's fine.
Of course.
But to come out with a feature on a diss track is kind of weird.
Right.
At least for what I'm used to when it comes to it.
Exactly. Back in our day, that didn't happen.
I completely agree. And that's kind of why I'm not going to lie. Kendrick's next song to rebuttal this is with Future and Metro Boomin,
Metro Boomin.
and I was a bit like, But in his verse, I will say, again, I think he's got the gloves on a little bit, and it basically feels like him saying, like, you guys really want this, we're gonna do this. He's like, he says, you think I won't drop a location? I still got PTSD. Big three, it's only big me.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about? Like,
right.
I think like he's still just trying to be like, are we sure we want to do this, fellas? Because it's like, and I think that's why he went on with Future and Metro, because like they had their problems with the industry and with Drake and everything like that in the past. So there was just a nice thing. It was almost like a somewhat okay rebuttal because Drake came with J. Cole. So like Kendrick, I don't know if he was thinking like, oh, this is fitting. I'll just let's throw this up here and we'll see how this lands.
Right.
But yeah, I think I still
and it was dope. And it
yes, 100%. It was really dope.
It was absolutely dope.
And I just again, I just think going through it, I think he's like, this is just like he says, like, fuck sneak dissing, first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. Like, what are we talking? Like, he's literally like, or again, why are you coming at me 10 years later? Is this what you really
maybe
want?
That's why he's doing it like that, because he's like, is this really where you want to, plant your flag? Is this the mountain you want to die on? Like, really? Like, just chill. I'm gonna say a few things, but just chill the fuck out. You probably don't want this drama. Like,
and he got they stepped on him a little bit in this one, I'm looking at it right now, and he's saying, where is it at? Sticking to the code on these hoes streets. I put it in her nose. It's gonna make her. Yeah. That was okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and then so on and so on and so on, and Kendrick jumps on it. But I listened to it today. I was listening to it all day. I'm laughing. I'm like, this is great. This is absolutely great. I love this. Kendrick. So, and I do agree. It's like, okay, you came with your big 3, whatever that is. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump on with Metro and Future. We're gonna do this. Like you said, send out a little warning. And then we're gonna move on. And
I truly like how Kendrick seems to be one of the few people to get away with like being on tracks with other people and just still being like, no, fuck all of them. I'm the best. And they are all just like, yeah, let him get away with it.
Right.
It's Kendrick.
Right.
Like, who else that can really just call out everyone and then just still be like, yeah, I'm a feature with this guy.
Eminem.
True.
And Kendrick's won a Pulitzer. Like, you know what I mean?
The only people that won't do a feature with me are ones I've already destroyed or about to destroy. He literally does features with people just to destroy him on his own song. It's so fucked up.
Again, I think that was a nice comeback, but like I said, I was a bit nervous when it was with people and everything like that, and I was like, this is going to be really.
But look, here's the thing: Kendrick is a more technical rapper than Drake is. So there's no way Drake, in my opinion, even if he drops the best verse or whatever, because Kendrick is so technical, at least from what I know about him and his rhymes, like it's hard for somebody like Poppy like that to really destroy him lyrically. It's just going to be because he's so technical with how he writes his words and his lines. And it's just it's different. It's different. There's elevators in it. There's levels. You need an elevator to get to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to open up a song when I see dead people. You know what I mean? Open up a disc when I see dead people. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is so great. I see dead people.
Listen, there's so many good. That one probably has next jabs per second. Like he's probably strike a chord and it's probably 80 minor.
Yeah, right. Love that. I think we spoke about it last time about
I remember that line. Yeah.
Drake's in the club and this song is playing in a club now. People are dancing to a.
And that's the thing too. Kendrick somehow beat him at the club game.
Yes.
He wasn't even trying.
Wasn't
He was
even
just
trying to.
Oh my God.
Janet Jackson was on Instagram yesterday in her tour. She has a moment where they're dancing to Kendrick Lamar's They're Not Like Us.
It's just too good.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like Janet
You just
Jackson is on
literally
tour
cannot.
having a dance break to that.
I need to see. I need to see Janet Jackson. I
No,
was
she
in
looks
love with that
great.
woman when I was growing up.
Oh, I adore Janet Jackson.
No, she
looks
really is a
great.
great
Ageless. She looks
performer, too.
great.
Yeah,
Gosh, she looks great.
her song with her and Michael, that Scream song, so is a banger.
How
It's a
dope was
straight up
that?
banger.
How great was that?
Yeah, she's a great artist.
She
Anyway,
really
go ahead.
is.
Sorry.
No, you're
She
good.
really
You're good.
is.
You're good.
Jackson, I was like, yeah.
You're good. So,
And when Janet Jackson, you know, she did that with Cardi B's song, Yellow Bone or whatever. I forget the name of that song, but remember she had a dance break when Cardi B's song came out, her first album, and Janet Jackson started dancing to that at her concert. So when I saw her, dancing to Kendrick Lamar's, it's pretty much when Janet Jackson's dancing to, it's done.
Yeah,
It's been done. But that's another
You're
never seen her
buried at
dancing
that
to a Drake
point.
song in her concert.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, never.
Oh God.
Another goat.
So
Absolutely
the
right.
next song
For
we
real,
have
for
up-
real.
You ain't never lie. Is J. Cole's 7-minute drill. And he labeled this on his album Might Delete Later, and it's perfectly labeled and named. And I'm so irritated that he pulls back from this because I'm not gonna lie, it's a great fucking track. Like, he goes after him extremely lyrically. He goes after him dissecting his discography, just picking him apart, just lyrically in a very good fashion.
Right.
And talking about how you have four albums in 12 years. I can do math. That ain't shit. And these are great things. And it's like, you can't. And again, I understand why Kendrick waits that long. He produces really great things, but it's a great jab at someone.
Right.
Like, it's just, and this is what we're looking for. This is what it was like. And he's like, I'm hesitant. I love my brother, but I'm not going to lie. I'm powered up. Like, this shit this is like swatting flies to me. And it's just, it's such, he has such great, depictions, such great lyrics in this one. And it was just, and the way he pulled back on it, I was just like, oh, why'd you have to do it live to your own festival?
Yeah.
Because you can see that. You can see them too. Like, if you told me it was just J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar going at each other, that's great. You could see, I could see that. I mean, J. Cole, great lyricist. So I get that. Him stepping out of it, I don't,
And it's like, I understand, like, I get it. He steps out of it, and he explains it in the clip at his Dreamville festival. He's like, this just isn't me. Like, and that's, J. Cole has never been that type. Like, he's never the type to be bloodthirsty after an artist. He's always just like, he's trying to work with people. He's trying to produce for people. J. Cole's doing a lot more than just trying to be a lyricist like he can be. Right. And so, like, he said, in the statement, he feels like, he had to come back because all his friends and people around him were like, you're just going to let that happen. And it's just like, in that industry, you kind of can't.
Nope, you can't. He has to say something.
Yeah.
He has to. That is the industry. That's the game that he's in. And I get that he felt like he had to say something and then said something, which, like you said, great. It's like you want to hear the second,
yes.
You know what I mean? What else? Because those two can stand up against each other, Yeah. So I would have loved to hear more, but I get it. I absolutely get it. Like you said, J. Cole, like you said, has never gone after anyone. He's about what he does, and he does like to work with a lot of the artists in the industry. So I get that, but he could have stood up to that. Absolutely.
Don, anything?
Well, I mean, I think probably that's also why he stepped out of it, because he's like, screw that. Like, I don't want to get involved in this right now. you know, at this point in my career either. So
Right.
maybe that's why. I don't know him well enough to say that, but maybe I'm just thinking of a reason why he would bow out of it at that moment. But look, I think he's a good rapper. I think he can definitely rap, but I think he is holding back a little bit though. Still
Oh,
in
he
this
is.
song, he's definitely holding back, or at least it feels like it. And again, I don't know much about him lyrically, but he definitely seems like he's holding back for me.
Right.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, I think he did it. In the way that it's written and everything, you can tell and feel that he was kind of almost pressured into doing this.
Right.
Because he's like, I pray for peace. Like that's all he
Right.
wants,
Right.
you know, and he's just trying to. He says it even here. My text flooded with hunger for the toxic reply. I'm hesitant. I love my brother, but I'm not going to lie. And that's when he goes into that whole thing.
Right.
And it's just such a like he says it in the song, and it's just like, what do you do in that moment when you're getting hit with like, you just gonna sit there and take
Right.
that?
Right.
Oh snap!
Right.
Like you don't just do that in that kind
Right.
of an industry.
No, you can't.
Well,
You
like I
can't.
said, he's not that guy. Not trying to do that.
No.
Like Don said, baby, that's it. Just not wanting to be involved in the mess, and you know, and having to do another track, and then you know what I mean? Because it,
Oh, for sure.
That's the
doing,
problem, right? Yep,
you know,
right there.
you have to come back. I mean, he's not about that, you know, at this
Oh,
time, or
100%.
never have been. I don't think though.
No, that
You
and
know,
that's the
he's
thing.
not. I've never. got
J.
that
Cole's
from him.
always been a very like he's been more of a I'm gonna tell my story lyrically,
Right.
and I'm gonna tell you about my journey. I'm gonna and
Right.
he's always done very well at doing that. Like I
Right.
love every single one of his songs. They're in my
Nice.
what do you call it? They're in my playlist religiously. But it was just like I said. It's as a J. Cole fan, it was
Right.
extremely upsetting and disheartening to see him
Okay.
bow out that way.
Okay.
Because to me, it was like it was okay to bow out, but it's just like why'd you do it at your own festival? Enjoy that night, like enjoy that stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? You didn't need to do it in front of all your fans, who probably some of them were like, brother,
Right.
Like, don't get involved, Jay.
yeah. So I think that was, like I said, it was a bit of a damper on my take on that whole the
Right.
whole beat. Because then now it just leaves Drake and Kendrick.
There we go.
And I mean,
There we
even at
go.
this point, we're just like, and then it's also like now you're fighting either between for first or third place.
There we
Because
go.
J. Cole will be second either way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Either way, at this
Yeah.
point, J. Cole's number 2.
Yeah. Drake's not gonna.
No.
He's not in that
Yeah,
that
not
realm
at
with
all.
J. Cole. Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
You know, let's be
so-
real. He's
No
not.
way.
No,
He's
at all.
not. It's not happening. He's not.
I think for right now, we'll really quickly we'll just talk about it,
Okay.
and then we'll call it wraps, and then we'll catch up in next week. But
Heck yeah.
we have Future and Metro Boomin. They dropped their own track, basically featuring ASAP Rocky and The Weeknd, and it's just going after Drake, indicating a conflict between all of them, or I think it was between specifically The Weeknd and Drake. There was some beef between that. So I think this was my thing. I just thought a lot of people were just like, all right, let me get on the bandwagon here. Let me
Right.
tack on some extra clips, views, and throughout this rap beef, we'll see a few other people that chime in that
Right.
I do think also are just trying to get their licks in while they can. But I will
Is that
say,
the Young Metro? Is that the one we're talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
But I do think that it's funny how these people that are chiming into the rap beef only go after Drake. Just gonna say.
No, because in my day, like we said, if there's a beef going on, of course you're gonna have a lot of people that jump into it. For instance, Tupac's beef, when we ride on our enemies. And remember, he goes after the Fugees.
Mm-hmm.
He goes after everyone in that, and it's just him. But that one,
the intro to Machiavelli is one of the most
oh my,
disrespectful to the East Coast things you
right,
could ever do. He was like
yes,
calling like Jay-Z Hawaiian Soapy fame,
yes, that's right, that's right,
Notorious P.I.G.
right.
Not
And
like he
remember, he
went to
said
everybody.
the Mob Deep, don't
Yeah,
y'all
talking
have
about how he has
sickle
sickle
cell? Don't
cell,
y'all have
he's gonna have a
see you
seizure
have a
on
seizure on
stage.
stage?
Dude,
I
no,
mean,
Pac
like,
didn't give a shit.
and
Pac
so
didn't give a fuck, like,
people
at all.
pick sides. You had a lot of people that was on the other side, and
Yeah,
it wasn't just you had New York guys
but he always had the
were riding
Outlaws
with
on
Tupac.
songs with him talking shit about
Oh
Biggie
yeah.
and all them.
Yes,
But that's the
yes,
thing, though.
But
Back
that's
then,
the
it
thing
was like
also, though.
everyone was also going after
Right.
everyone.
yes.
Like this,
Yeah,
it just
but
seems like everyone's going after Drake, which I just find hysterical because it just
Right.
shows you how many people in the industry just don't like him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. Like I said, this whole rap beef with them just, opened my eyes to a lot of things. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
And
know
then,
any of
like
that
you said,
either.
everyone jumping on that train because they're against him. And now, like Don had mentioned, the not writing the lyrics. People are feeling like he's a culture vulture. I mean, there's so much with him. Kendrick, and that's the thing about Kendrick. It's like Drake. Come on, we remember when you got that woman pregnant and you denied that the baby was yours for a long time.
Yeah.
This man spent years just digging that up and then finding out that you may have another kid. Like, you have so much going on, not the person you want to continuously go after. Leave him alone, and you're not going to go after him with click, 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 click. That you're not, like, you know what I mean? You're not. That's not going to do anything. This man's sitting back laughing at you.
Yes.
And
Every
then he
step
makes
of the way.
a diss track, and it ends up in the clubs. Your clubs where your songs are playing. Stop it.
Yeah. No,
So
definitely.
Yep.
I agree.
taking down everything today.
Yes,
That
that is.
beat, you know what I mean? Taking
hold
it all down today.
I will share that. You have posted that, and that's what we'll end on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This is very interesting because there is no rapper out there that would do this normally.
Never.
Yeah. But this says on
So,
IG. Only
Rossi
on
brought up to my attention. Yes, because I'm pretty YouTube, it'll be all over the place. Even if
Yeah.
you took it down off
Yeah,
of his stuff,
sure.
Yeah.
it would still be anywhere. So he's smarter. It's smarter for him to keep it up on his so that he can get the views and everything, which I understand. That's just for money. This is where Drake. So it says the NFR podcast. Drake has deleted all of his Kendrick Lamar diss tracks on IG. Push-ups, Tailor Made, Family Matters, Buried Alive, The Heart, Part 6.
Right.
I mean, if you're trying to look innocent in any of this, this is not.
Yeah, really.
This is not the way to do it, man.
This is bad.
Like,
This is
Yeah, it looks
bad.
bad.
You don't do that. Literally, the only thing that I can think of potentially, maybe, and I don't. This is like a long stretch. Is if he's getting ready to like sue Kendrick for something. But even then, it's like you deleted it. It was still out there. We'll still be able to find it. So it's like
Absolutely.
that's a stretch. But like other than that, dude, you look guilty as shit.
Yeah, you just don't do that in hip hop and rap beefs. I mean, this this is not a major bad. We're gonna shoot each other. And I know there was some things that happened after the diss. I think there was a shooting at Drake's mansion or something like that. But I don't see this, being a Tupac and Biggie type of thing. This is a fun beef for hip hop. It is. That's all it is. So don't take your shit down.
Life, then I hate hip hop forever.
Yeah, I think this was a weird move for Drake. I'm not sure what he was trying to do with deleting everything, because it just, one, it makes the allegations somewhat look true.
Right.
And two, it's just like, what, you're going back on everything you just rapped about? Like, you can't take that back. This was supposed to be a friendly rap beef. Why are you taking it back?
Exactly. Stand on that. This is not a big deal. Just stand on it. Leave it there so future people can see it. Yep. No pun, future, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no, no,
100%.
you can't do this. You definitely cannot do this in the middle of the beef. Like it's still kind of going on. So yeah, you can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, like
Right.
from what I understand, like I mean, I know nothing has, like obviously we're not towards the end of what has happened yet,
Right.
but I mean, so far within the last month, nothing else has dropped.
No.
So for right now, things are quiet, but it's still not over.
Right.
Like,
And normally that's how it goes with rap beefs. When it's
Yep.
something like this, usually after a while it goes away. You leave that shit up, it goes away, and we move on to the next. It doesn't, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. So I wonder why he deleted all that.
yeah,
It doesn't make sense. I will agree with that. Yeah.
no, I don't understand it at all. But guys, thank you so much, Rossi, Don.
Thank
Thank
you,
you guys
guys.
all for coming and being a part of this. Thank you all watching and viewing. Appreciate you guys coming around. If you guys want to come back next week, I believe around the exact same time next week, Thursday around 10:30 Eastern Standard Time and 7:30 Central Standard Time. All right?
Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard Time. Wow.
California.
We will be
Sacramento.
doing part 2 of this Rat Beefs in the Multiverse and getting down to the end and some of the best tracks of the
Yes.
whole thing. This is kind of just the teaser of it. But guys, Rossi, tell them where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Rossi Talks at Movie Lovers Unite. You'll check John and I next Wednesday. We're going to review Deadpool. Also Monday on Rossi's Clubhouse, I have a special guest, a special actor that will be coming through. And on the 19th on Rossi Talks, I'll be sitting with my friend Kim Alport, and we're going to talk Baby Reindeer.
Ooh, I heard
Time
nothing
to
but
discuss
amazing
Baby
things about that.
Reindeer. Have y'all checked
I've-
that out yet?
I know a lot of it because I read
Yeah.
up on what the story is and how
Gotta watch,
the
guys.
actor was the same person who the story's about, and
Yeah.
the whole like it's
it's it's absolutely nuts, guys. And
The one
the
thing
interviews.
the one thing I'll add about that to the way he to subject yourself to that a second time
Yeah,
is insane.
this is the craziest story I've ever heard or read about, and seeing the movie and then watching all her interviews. Someone's off their rocker.
Yes.
Yes.
But Don, what about you, my man?
Yeah, you guys can find me here on Multiverse of Geekdom as usual. We have something very interesting coming out very soon for you guys here. But also check me out on Twitch, guys, at Aces Only 4201. I'm on there streaming all kinds of different stuff. Madden,
Awesome.
poker. I do all kinds of weird shit on there.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
And as for me, your faithful Padawan, I am going to be doing the same thing that John is doing with the very special thing. It's going to have to do with some D&D, another kind of our take on the game. As well as you can catch me on Twitch under Padawan Frito. I am getting into a lot more Apex competitive games,
Awesome.
Overwatch. I'm going to be starting a Cyberpunk 2077 2077. What's it called? Playthrough, because I've never played it before, so it's going to be fresh to me.
Fun.
And yeah, if you are watching this live, come check out in just 10 to 15 minutes because I'm going to go live now.
Awesome, Jason. I'm happy you're back at it.
Yes, thank you so much,
Yes.
guys. Again, thank you all for coming, guys. This has been another episode from the Multiverse.
See you guys next time.
We do things.
Two things.